day. My name is Sister Irene Moketsi. I'm the unit manager of ICU in Fountain Hospital. Now we are going to do the following step in admission of a patient in higher level.
Good morning, Mrs. Xolani. I know you've had a very terrible night. You were short of breath and everything, and we've increased the oxygen. So we have spoken to Dr. Berger. I've actually phoned him just now, and he suggested that we should transfer you to ICU. I know that's a lot to digest for you, but we will answer all your questions and uncertainties just now. Let me first hear whether there is a bed available in the ICU. We will inform all your relatives and so forth, so don't fear that they won't know where you are. All right, just hang on. I'll be back with you in a short while. Right.
ICU Nurse Ntre speaking. Good day.
Hi, good day, Nurse Ntre. It's Sister Opperman from Ward 20 speaking. I've got a patient here that needs to be admitted in ICU. Is it possible for me to speak with your registered nurse on duty, please?
Okay, Sister Opperman, I'm going to call Sister Mwekezi for you. Can you please just hold a sec for me?
Thank you.
Morning, Sister Irene speaking. How may I help you?
Sister Irene, good morning. Sister Opperman from Ward 20.
Hi, sis.
I've got a patient here in my ward that is deteriorating. She is Mrs. Xolani.
Okay.
She's a Dr. A.E. Berger patient. She's been admitted with pneumonia via ER 2 nights ago.
Okay.
She was complaining of shortness of breath. She's got a dry cough. We started her in the ward on a nasal cannula, but very shortly that wasn't sufficient. She desaturated. We've changed to a full face mask on 40%. And then she improved a little bit, but every time that she mobilizes to the toilet, she desaturates to the 80s. And last night, she even started to desaturate whilst resting. So Dr. Berger I phoned him and he suggested that we transfer her to your unit. So the reason for my call is in actual fact to find out whether you have got a bed available.
Sister Opperman, we do have a bed, but just give me a few minutes to check my environment again. I'll give you a call in a few seconds. When waiting for the patient from the lower level, which is the ward, on that history, it was mentioned that there is a possibility that the patient might be intubated. So in that case, we make sure that your ventilator is ready, calibrated beforehand, before the patient comes in. Make sure that the bed is ready. It is also important, you might assess when the patient arrives whether the patient is emaciated or not. Will she need a ripple mattress or not? But that can be done when the patient arrives here. These are the cables which you are going to use for monitoring the hemodynamics of the patient. It is very important that each and every patient is having his or her own stethoscope for infection control reasons. Suction. Most patients can vomit at any time. Your suction must be in a working order. So this is what is called environmental check-ins of the patient before coming. So what Nelly is doing is to check whether the patient is ready to arrive, so that when the patient arrives here, we are not going to run up and down.
Let us look at the outcomes of today's lesson. After today, you will be able to understand the role of the chest X-ray in critical care. In actual fact, that is the indications for X-rays in a critical care setting. The inferring factors before taking a chest X-ray in order for you to have a quality X-ray the moment that you want to analyze it. So the slide coming up on your screen now is the underlying structures on a chest X-ray. So what I mean with underlying structures, it means that many of the things on the chest X-ray you will not see very clearly. You will see the silhouette of the heart or the cardiac shadow for that matter, but you will not be able to exactly determine the big vessels that enters and exit the heart and so forth. So that is why I thought it well that I actually give you an X-ray where the outlines have been put into to exactly show you where is the aortic notch or aortic arch. And there is where you'll see it on the ordinary X-ray. where you can see the fissures of the lungs. As you know, right lung's got 3, left lung's got only 2. And these are not easily identifiable. So just as long as you know what are the underlying structures, and there are certain things that you need to be looking at, even though you can't see them, because if you maybe see them, they might be abnormal. So that is quite important.